I'm very glad that I found out before we actually do start trying to conceive. We're gonna be a little TMI here, but this is about our health as a woman, so we should be comfortable talking about it. I started noticing so much better skin, so much hair growth, energy, way less inflammation once I got. Hello you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video, we're going to talk about how I naturally boosted my progesterone from single to double digits in like about 4 months. So, which is pretty crazy, and I'm really proud of myself for doing this. But if you guys watched my previous health vlogs, I was doing a lot of hormone testing just to see where my hormones are at, and lo and behold, I found out earlier last year, 2024, which is so crazy to say. I feel like I'm still in 2024. Anyways, it hasn't hit me that we're in 2025 yet, but earlier in spring last year, I found out that I had low progesterone, which was really surprising because I didn't think I had any symptoms of a hormonal imbalance. I truly felt really great, honestly. I just was not showing symptoms, like I said. However, on the other hand, I am very happy that I did get testing done, and that's why I'm a huge believer in testing and not guessing, because while my husband and I are not currently trying, if we did start trying during that time that I did not know that I had very low progesterone, I had a way higher chance of, trigger warning, we're talking about miscarriages and pregnancy loss, because progesterone is incredibly important for pregnancy and trying to conceive. So I do want to put a little trigger warning there, but I'm very glad that I found out before we actually do start trying to conceive, not anytime soon. But when I shared that vlog and shared that I had low progesterone, I did get some questions and DMs about what my numbers were. And it's not that I'm not comfortable sharing the exact number that I had in terms of low progesterone. Again, I just want to be very mindful of those who are currently trying to conceive and have experienced miscarriages, because what may be low to me may be high to others, and I just don't want to create any negative feelings towards this. I just want to be very mindful, I guess you can say. So I'm not going to share the exact number, but I was in the lower end of the single digits. Now I'm in the double digits. And also I do want to disclaim and say that progesterone is a fluctuating hormone. So during your menstrual cycle, it's incredibly important to test your progesterone throughout, because it can be high and it can be low. It fluctuates, so be mindful of that as well. However, when my progesterone was supposed to be high, it was not high, it was low. So that's when I knew that I had a low progesterone. And so when I found that out, the doctor gave me lots of recommendations and supplements to take and other lifestyle changes to do to naturally boost my progesterone, because I wanted to support my body's production of progesterone. That was a tongue twister, rather than like supplementing a synthetic form of it, if that makes sense. So I just wanted to support my body to be able to produce it, rather than just give my body a synthetic form of it, which I don't know if it's synthetic. I never really looked into it, but I know it's incredibly helpful for those who are trying to conceive, so I don't want to undermine that, but I just wanted to try to at least support my body's natural production of it. Now, before we get into all the tips and tricks that I did to naturally increase my progesterone, I do want to quickly talk about what is progesterone, what are the signs of low progesterone, and what I experienced, which now looking back, I definitely had signs and symptoms of low progesterone. Just in case if you're just like coming on this video and you're just wanting to educate yourself in some way. So progesterone is a female sex hormone that is produced in the ovaries and adrenals. Remember that now. It is mainly produced / increases after ovulation and during your luteal phase. Progesterone helps regulate your menstrual cycle, but its main job is to get the uterus ready for pregnancy. After you ovulate each month, progesterone helps thicken the lining of the uterus to prepare for a fertilized egg. If there is no fertilized egg, progesterone levels drop and menstruation begins. However, if a fertilized egg implants in the uterine wall, progesterone helps maintain the uterine lining throughout pregnancy. Hence the importance of progesterone for fertility and trying to conceive. If you get pregnant, you still need progesterone to maintain your uterus until your baby is born. Your body will produce this increase in progesterone, which then causes some of the symptoms of pregnancy, like breast tenderness and nausea. So that is progesterone. It's a very, very important hormone that we have. Some signs of low progesterone are fertility issues, obviously, irregular menstrual cycle, mood changes, headaches, and or migraines. And then, like I said, I didn't think I had a hormonal imbalance because I felt really good. My energy was good. But now looking back and looking and researching the signs and symptoms of low progesterone, I definitely had it. We're gonna be a little TMI here, but this is about our health as a woman, so we should be comfortable talking about it. So one of the symptoms that I had of low progesterone, which I didn't think was a symptom of low progesterone, was actually spotting before my period. So I thought it was normal to lightly start your period and then it comes like full force, like a day or two later. No, that is a sign of low progesterone, especially if you have spotting in terms of, this again, very TMI, but it is like brown mucus kind of. That is definitely a sign of low progesterone, and I had that, and I thought that was just my period coming. I thought that was normal, but no, it was a sign of low progesterone. It's crazy because you can actually tell the health of your menstrual cycle and your hormones just by looking at the color and the texture of your period. Again, I know that's like weird to talk about maybe to some people, but it's just so crazy how as a woman we can tell the health of our hormones through just our period. So that I could do a whole video on that, but spotting before your period is a sign of low progesterone. And then when leading up to my period, I would get headaches, and it was just like, it wasn't like crazy migraines or anything, just like little headaches. So I thought having headaches was normal. I thought it was part of just PMS, but that actually could be a sign of low progesterone. So those are like the two big symptoms now looking back that my body was telling me, hey, you have low progesterone. And so now let's talk about how I naturally increased my progesterone from single to double digits. And the first thing that I did, and it might sound cliche, but my holistic doctor that I went to get my progesterone tested, she even recommended this because I had other symptoms of this thing, which I'm gonna be talking about. But it is reducing my stress significantly / support my cortisol levels and adrenals. Remember when I was telling you what progesterone, what it is and everything, I mentioned that it is produced in your adrenals. Now, adrenal fatigue, some would say it's just a myth, it's a theory. A lot of people agree with it and believe it's a thing, some people don't. But with my firsthand experience and experiencing it myself, I believe adrenal fatigue is a huge thing. It's, again, like I said, it's basically where you're in a constant state of stress, whether it's good or bad, because your body can't tell the difference. You're stressed so much that your cortisol spikes so high, so then it essentially like drops. So you would think you would get low cortisol, and that's good. When you get tested, you're like, oh, I'm very high stress, but it says that I have low cortisol. No, it could be because your body just cannot keep up anymore with that stress and produce as much cortisol, because having cortisol a good amount is obviously good. So then you kind of like flatline, and that's what some people would say is adrenal fatigue. So what I wrote here is that adrenal fatigue is a theory that suggests that our adrenal glands get so overworked by stress that they essentially stop producing the hormones we need, like progesterone, because like I said, progesterone is produced in your adrenal glands. And I actually talked about that in my Jumpstart Your Journey guide that I kind of just updated. Essentially, the Jumpstart Your Journey guide is 150 page, well, it's now 150 page, self-paced and quick start guide and workbook that will teach you everything you need to know on how to start a sustainable and holistic health and fitness journey. It teaches you everything from hormone health to even building a workout routine. I added blood sugar balance section, a spiritual health section, and most importantly, I added a nervous system regulation section. And in that section, I talked about how when your body is in a constant state of fight or flight mode, so a constant state of stress, your body is not going to prioritize the things that your body actually needs at that time because it thinks it's in danger. So it's not going to prioritize fat loss. It's not going to prioritize fertility because your body thinks it's in danger. So I'll have a link down below if you want to learn more about the Jumpstart Your Journey guide in that section. But going back to this point, it is so incredibly important to lower your stress and regulate your nervous system in order to be able to boost your progesterone naturally. And so ways that I recommend to reduce that mental and physical stress on your body, but these are things that I did personally to help reduce that stress and regulate my nervous system is one, I started cycle syncing. So I have a lot of videos on this and I swear by it. And I've done so much research and I've been cycle syncing for over 2 years now. I think 3 years now actually. And if you don't know what cycle syncing is, essentially it is when you sync your cycle to foods, yes, but most importantly, workouts. So like I mentioned earlier, as a woman, our hormones are going on a roller coaster ride throughout the whole entire month, especially of like a 28 to a 30-day menstrual cycle. That's pretty much a month. It is going like this. So when you work out alongside your hormones rather than against it, you're supporting your hormones. So for example, when your hormones are at its lowest, like when you are in your menstrual phase. So when you are on your period, you don't want to do those very high intensity, high impact exercises because your hormones are really low. Your body's more susceptible to stress. So you want to support your body during that phase. So doing low intensity, low impact exercises to support your body's stress response, obviously, but also your hormones. So cycle syncing has truly helped reduce that stress. And then another way to reduce stress is, this is gonna get a little deep and I'm not gonna go a little deep into it, but it is healing your heart. So your body tends to, I think there's a book about it. Don't quote me. I actually need to read it because I keep seeing it pop up everywhere on social media, but it's called Your Body Keeps the Score, I think. But essentially, your body tends to hold on to past hurts, past traumas that you experienced, and sometimes you just have to learn to be able to release that, to be able to heal not just your heart, but also on a physical level too. Because again, when you are holding on to something so long, it literally can make you sick. And I am actually going to do a whole video on this on how you need to heal your heart in order to heal your body. So even if it's just like a friendship breakup or a relationship breakup or a car accident or someone said something mean to you, even in middle school, like if you hold on to it, it keeps replaying in your head. Your body thinks it's experiencing it over and over and over. So that's why it's really important to heal your heart and heal from past hurts and past traumas to be able to release that so your body knows like it's not happening to you anymore. It's not happening again. It can finally just like be at peace and breathe and heal on a physical level, and which will help reduce that stress and that cortisol levels as well. So that was a little like deep and tangent, but I could not recommend it enough. And then another tip that I have, and obviously there are tons of different ways to reduce stress and your cortisol level, but it is getting better sleep. Sleep is so incredibly important, not just like normal sleep, but high quality and quantity sleep. You wanna get 8+ hours of good, deep sleep. And I know that's super cliche, but like when you're sleeping, your body's in a rest and recovery mode. That is when your body heals from the inside out, and your body also releases like certain like growth hormones, especially like if you're into muscle building when you're sleeping. So sleep is obviously incredibly important, and when you are not getting enough sleep and you wake up and you have like literally you're running on like 5 hours of sleep, you chug a cup of coffee, which then spikes your, not just your blood sugar, but your cortisol too, because your cortisol is at its highest in the morning. Again, you're sending it even higher just for it to come back down, because what goes up must come down. It's just gonna send your body on a cycle of just like roller coaster ride of high spikes of stress, high spikes of blood sugar, which kind of goes into reducing stress on a cellular level, is balancing your blood sugar. So I guess that's another tip, but getting better sleep is going to do wonders for reducing that stress. So the next thing that I did to increase my natural progesterone, and this is something that I have not heard before on any other boosting progesterone videos. Please take notes on this. I'm gonna do a whole video on this, but it is to check if you have any gene mutations that prevents you from absorbing certain vitamins. At this same appointment where I found out that I had low progesterone, or when I got tested for my hormones and found out that I had low progesterone, I also found out that I actually have one set of the MTHFR gene mutation. I will put up the full name up on the screen, but people call it, and I'm not cussing, but people call it the mother effer gene, because it really is a mother effer in terms of like it messes up your health, especially if you don't know you have this gene mutation. And that is another thing that I'm so incredibly happy that I found out that I have before we started trying to conceive, because I have one set and my husband actually has 2 sets of it. So he has a double whammy of it. But basically this MTHFR gene mutation inhibits the body's processing of folic acid and other important B vitamins like B6. And if you didn't know, vitamin B6 helps your body produce progesterone. So all of these years, I've been taking supplements like B supplements, and like even my electrolytes that I used to take had like, it said B12 for energy. I was consuming so much of this synthetic form of this B vitamin, and my body could not even process it. So it was like basically stagnant in my body. It was racking up into my body, so much so that my homocysteine levels were so high, which is a sign of you most likely have that gene mutation, but also is a sign of inflammation. So that's why, again, I could not recommend enough to get tested, and test, not guess. And so when I found that out, I actually started taking a methylated form of B complex, and let me tell you, it changed my life. Like, I had true good energy, no crashes, but also I started noticing so much better skin, so much hair growth, energy, way less inflammation once I got my homocysteine levels down. It's truly insane what this gene mutation can literally wreak havoc on your health if you don't know that you have it. But also, folate is incredibly important, especially when you're trying to conceive. So it prevents like neural tube defects in your baby. So if you don't know you have this gene mutation, your baby and your body needs that folate, but you're not giving it folate and you're giving it the synthetic form, and your body can't process it, and you just have a higher risk of those defects and also higher risk of miscarriages. So the last big tip that I have on how I increase my natural progesterone, because I feel like I'm talking way too much, but it is increasing my vitamin C. So if you didn't know, vitamin C has been shown to increase progesterone levels, with one study showing that those who took 750 mg of vitamin C per day increased their progesterone levels by 77%. So obviously that is a huge percentage, and again, there's actual studies that show that vitamin C go hand in hand with the production of progesterone in your body. And then going back to point 1, again, with the stress and the adrenals, when your body is in a constant state of stress, your body is getting depleted of essential minerals that are incredibly important for hormone production, aka progesterone production. And one of those minerals is, lo and behold, what do you think? Vitamin C. Some things that I started doing to increase my vitamin C intake is, one, obviously I started supplementing. Once I found out that I have a gene mutation or gene mutations that makes it harder for my body to absorb certain vitamins, I started taking basically methylated, liposomal, more absorbable form of vitamins. So I started taking a liposomal vitamin C liquid. I just feel like my body needed that extra support, and that's where I believe supplementation is really handy. But alongside supplementation, I didn't take the full dose because I knew I wanted to also get it from actual fruits and vegetables. I started taking orange juice, and if you guys have been anywhere near the health and wellness holistic space on social media, you have probably heard of adrenal mocktails. And again, that word, adrenal. So basically these adrenal mocktails contain 3 important minerals that your body gets depleted or your adrenals need in order to support your body because of high stress and all of that. But one of them is vitamin C. And so that's why when you look at these recipes, a lot of them contain vitamin C or lime or lemon. So, and then some other fruits and veggies that have high vitamin C is kiwis. If you guys watched my other What I'd Eat in a Day videos, you know, especially recently at least, I've been eating so much kiwis because kiwis actually contain a lot of vitamin C, but it also has a lot of fiber, and fiber is obviously really good for your gut health, and gut health is really good for being able to absorb nutrients. And nutrients is obviously good for your hormone health and so much more. So I know it literally is like a ripple effect of why things are so important for your health overall. But kiwis, obviously, like I said, citrus fruits, lemon, lime, oranges, and then peppers. So like red peppers, green peppers, yellow peppers. I've been doing lots of like soups and chilies and stir fries with peppers to help increase that vitamin C intake. But yeah, those are just my top 3 things that I believe has truly helped increase my natural progesterone without taking any synthetic form of progesterone or anything else. I swear by these 3 things, not just to be able to produce progesterone, but also just for your health overall. Like, your health could benefit from obviously regulating your nervous system and reducing stress, and checking to see if you have gene mutations to be able to take the proper supplements for it and avoid certain things if you have it. And then just increasing vitamin C is obviously really good. But that is it. I promise I'm done talking. Thank you so much for watching. And if you guys want to, again, look into the Jumpstart Your Journey guide, I will have it linked down below and a discount code as well. So look at the description for all the goodies. But I'll see you or talk to you in my next video. Bye, guys.